Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking some incredibly fascinating relationship psychology based on the research of Isabella. She's an expert who studies those hidden, under-the-radar dynamics between men and women. We're breaking down a crucial reality that honestly usually goes completely ignored until it's just way too late.
Let me break the fourth wall for a second and ask you right off the bat. When was the last time you felt completely at peace in your relationship? And I don't mean just, surviving another day or successfully dodging an argument. I mean feeling genuinely secure. Look, if you had to pause and really think about that, you are definitely not alone. As our source material points out, relationship destruction rarely happens in one loud, dramatic explosion. Instead, it's this quiet exhaustion that just slowly creeps in. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to look at 5 quiet patterns that literally destroy men's lives. It's very much like that old frog in boiling water analogy, because these negative habits build up so incredibly slowly, most guys don't even realize their confidence, their peace of mind, and their overall health are just evaporating until the damage is deeply rooted. So let's count them down, starting right now. Number 5, constant emotional stress. And we aren't just talking about the normal, everyday ups and downs of a partnership, because those happen to everyone, right? We are talking about emotional tension becoming your absolute baseline reality. It's like walking on eggshells every single day, and it is draining. It is so easy to fall into a psychological trap here. See, a lot of men convince themselves that this underlying exhaustion is just, well, what commitment looks like. They think love naturally requires this endless, exhausting sacrifice. But the reality? A relationship should be a safe space to breathe. If you catch yourself finding reasons to stay late at the office just to avoid going home and facing that tension, that is a massive red flag. Your home shouldn't be a place that drains you. It should be the place where you recharge. Moving down to number 4, suppressing your emotions. From a very young age, society teaches guys a deeply flawed lesson about resilience. You know the drill. Stay strong, keep moving forward, never complain. And because of this conditioning, men mistakenly believe that silencing their feelings is the definition of true resilience.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Think of unexpressed feelings like a sealed pressure container. You get a disappointment here, an insult there, a broken promise, and it all adds this massive emotional weight. Ignoring the pressure inside doesn't magically make it go away, right? It just builds and builds and builds until it inevitably leads to sudden anger, complete emotional withdrawal, or this really deep-seated resentment. As the research points out, real strength isn't pretending nothing affects you. Actually, scratch that. It's the exact opposite. True strength lies in having the courage to communicate your hurt honestly and maturely without becoming hostile. It's all about expressing your needs and dealing with those problems before they rot into that resentment we just talked about.
All right, number 3. And wow, this one is dangerously disguised as love. Losing yourself to keep a woman happy. This isn't a sudden shift. It's a slow, methodical erosion of a man's identity.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sharp difference between healthy compromise and total self-abandonment. Making time and adjusting together, that's a clear sign of a healthy partnership. But giving up the hobbies you genuinely enjoy, abandoning your personal goals, and avoiding your friends just to keep the peace at home, yeah, that is self-abandonment. Before long, your entire identity revolves around pleasing one person, which tragically destroys the very confidence that made you attractive to her in the first place.
Coming in at number 2, losing sleep because of relationship problems. This is a quiet, internal breakdown that steals a man's peace every single night. We so often blame our poor sleep on, working too many hours or financial pressure, but an anxious mind that just cannot switch off from relationship tension, that is incredibly destructive to your overall well-being. Let's move to and see how this builds into a vicious, exhausting cycle. It usually starts with a midnight disagreement. Then you're lying there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying every single word that was said in your head. You're constantly checking your phone, hoping for a message to resolve the tension. And finally, you wake up absolutely exhausted with completely clouded judgment. Your body is lying in bed, sure, but your mind is literally fighting battles all night long. The hard reality is this. Relationship problems become so much bigger after midnight. When you are emotionally drained and physically exhausted, your mind naturally expects the absolute worst. Protecting your sleep isn't a selfish act at all. It is a critical investment in your emotional clarity. You really have to accept that some questions just don't need answers at 2 a.m. A rested mind tomorrow will handle those issues with clarity rather than frustrated exhaustion. Okay, we have reached the final, most destructive habit of them all. It's not infidelity and it's not financial strain. Number one is losing her respect. Because once genuine respect starts disappearing, absolutely everything else in the relationship collapses right along with it.
Disrespect doesn't happen overnight, does it? It creeps in quietly over time. On day one, it might just start with harmless little comments, but over a matter of weeks, it turns into constant interruptions when you speak. Fast forward a few months, and suddenly she's mocking your ideas instead of actually listening to them. And over years, it becomes a relentless cycle of fault-finding. The relationship totally transforms from a supportive haven into a courtroom, where a man feels constantly judged and always on the defensive. When this disrespect happens, a lot of guys fall into a desperate reaction. They start working longer hours, becoming overly available, and completely abandoning their own personal standards just to win back some approval. But here's the catch. Desperately trying to win back respect by sacrificing your boundaries actually destroys the natural confidence that created the initial attraction. The healthy standard here is maintaining your confidence and self-respect regardless of the pushback you might get. So the crucial point from the analysis is this. Love and respect should always exist together. A man should never ever mistake enduring emotional humiliation for genuine commitment. A healthy partner, she's going to challenge you, she'll hold you accountable, and she will definitely help you grow. But she will never make it her daily mission to diminish your confidence or make you feel small. But hey, the great news from our source material today is that awareness changes everything. The very moment you recognize these quiet patterns is the exact moment you can stop them. You have to fiercely protect your three pillars: your peace, your purpose, and your self-respect. Refusing to compromise on these gives you the rock-solid foundation you need to build a relationship where both partners actually thrive. I want to leave you with this provocative question to really chew on as we wrap up this explainer. Which of these 5 relationship patterns do you think is affecting the greatest number of men today? Take a quick moment to reflect on your own life or even the lives of the people around you. Recognizing the answer is honestly the first true step toward lasting change. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hey, keep protecting your peace.